Welcome back! You're watching some more Zetsubou Sensei, and of course I'm not going to disappoint. Well, at least not when it comes to at least giving you the episode. Having the world itself be as accepting as it is of all the characters, some more than others. I'm at a loss, really. But I guess there's some good out of all of it. If they can survive in such a world and everyone just gets on with their daily lives, then there's hope for us all. There's no point in me even contemplating what might come up in future episodes, because I would always be wrong. If we're having character-centric episodes where the characters themselves are invisible, what can we expect? Other than maybe a little subversion every now and again. So, strap yourselves in, because we're about to see something that throws even the universe into a despair. Previously. Oh god. We're starting with the insults already. And how it's birthing so many obsession. Masochists one and all. I mean, is it... I'm trying to ignore that dog, what the hell? Also, does she have a drink or something at least? Her throat might get a little parched and sore when she's through all of that crowd. Jeez. Is that near enough 50% of the entirety of the town come up to that event? So, why exactly does everyone line up for a healthy dose of derision? I guess I just can't put myself in their shoes, so... At least it will give that one student confidence to carry on. Even if he is balding and losing his hair, he's still got the dour words of the older lady that she can lash onto. Hmm. 7 differences. I've never really... Sorry. I've never really seen the appeal of those spot the difference. Usually because they're really not that difficult. How normal. Yeah, considering half of their lives and everyone in this class, yeah, I think normal would be beneficial, really. The fact that no one can go against her. When she starts using that to her own advantage. Spot the difference in the lives that you could have had. Yes. Do your way with friends. Spend your life inside of a digital radio. Anything else? I mean, as useful words to his students, what better teacher could you wish for than Zetsubou Sensei? I think Just add it to the list. If you start rattling off every mistake that you've made in your life, well, I don't think anyone's got long enough for my list. Still. I'm sure some of you could think of one or two. So, having breakfast in the morning, getting onto the bus, everything is a mistake, is it? Do we want to take a trip down memory lane with the teacher? Fair. The universe itself birthing him into existence as to who he is now, that's the mistake that you can first reach to. But he's just poor with money, isn't he? Granted, it's a mistake, but well, I guess, as keeping up with a hobby or anything, the pictures of whales and dolphins, maybe there's people out there who would enjoy it. Is he going to get into some existential reasoning and whatnot behind it all? The class. Where did she steal that from? It's being the okay. So the class number in the picture was fine. He mixed shampoo and conditioner. How could they tell? Yeah, it'd have to be very astute. But yeah, don't all the students feel better now, knowing that their teachers wanted nothing to do with them? Useful scene. I mean, as a little break from his nonsense. I guess it was needed. I mean, he might be onto something there. This would be a mark as a great mistake in their lives. I think that most of the blame could be put on the headmaster, whoever actually hired him into this position. So are they going to have a mistake off who can claim their life is slightly better? With the other tale, and once more, to be fair, his worries and lives were slightly fine, I guess, compared to some other issues that they could. She has no issues with her life, no qualms. It was the best decision she could have made. Huh? And the fact that she has an immediate militia stand up to protect her. They'll make anyone that makes her feel bad disappear. Quick, bring out the pitchforks and torches. It really does seem to be on possible something was right? Hoisted by his own petard. What's the maths question at the back? So, Inimus, as long as you can learn from it and better yourself. Two wrongs don't make a right, but 3 lefts do. I'm sure that's helpful somehow. Influenza. It's giving everyone autism. Wait, what? The fact that... okay, the embezzlement might not have been the correct action. I did not manage to read even half of that. Some of these things you may want to keep to yourself. Some things may be better left hidden and buried. Maybe not what you'd want to... well, at least he handed himself in, so good happened in the world, but she does the right things for the wrong reason. Excuse me? Thanks for that. Slightly unnecessary, like... so there's now a... battle to the death. They will need to... that means it's correct. It's fine. As long as everything becomes known. I like that thrust. Some interesting clothing lines able to see. So, is this just we're moving on? We're no longer talking about this child? Oh, okay. Is it just a relative of the family? I mean, we did see the doctor version. Did look quite similar. He has no qualms attacking anyone in this class and standing up for himself. Now enrolled into the class. Is he skipping grades? And coming from her, who knows all about abuse, animal or otherwise. Don't worry, there's plenty more reasons to be shunned from society. I thought he was using the very edge of the board there, but it was just the camera angle. Did he bring, what, DNA results with him? Does he know an exquisite family history of them all? Was this... it has been several years since you last saw him, though. The passage of time is in of itself a lie. Something that cannot be trusted. I'm guessing the family don't really talk about him or his issues. It's just so he can ignore him with peace of mind. Video rental store, yeah. What was that about Rainbow Drop? There'd be no reason for anyone else to fake being her. I mean, is there an easy way to do some biometrics, some fingerprint testing and the likes here? Does he have any... How good is the Japanese health records and whatnot for the students after their little exam they had back when we saw it? But we're getting into some true tautology shit. Now they're paying attention to him. To be fair, the unwanted attention. The fact, yeah, it's only when something bad happens when you finally have a presence. I understand that, actually. To be fair, I don't really mind her wavy hair. More natural look. She's taking her duties at the school very diligently, isn't she? You know, if only school was that easy. Are we actually going to go one by one through the class until we find those that are not meant to be here? It's how they find out that they're actually in the wrong class and they can finally escape. Huh? Who? Blow up the oil fields. Excuse me. Who was that directed at? But the weekends. So, I mean, this is the character who is the most normal. Do you expect some out-of-the-box thinking? In of itself, relevant to who she is. Cool. We'll go with that. I don't think there's any ID or anything. Okay. We're learning quite a lot about this one. I mean, they're pretty much questions that anyone can really pick up on. If you had to answer a question to prove that you are who you really are, something that no one would have ever known about. Really? Wouldn't have guessed. If he's the one demanding everyone else to prove themselves, he should start at number one. Is this where we find out that he was never actually meant to be the teacher of this class? Does he have a birthmark under his boob? That's one way to prove it. Marco Polo. Okay. And if you start questioning what it means to be and who you are, it can lead to some very deep questions. Yeah, okay, that's him. It's now trying to pass who you actually are against what they have, the image of him that they have in their minds. Mm-hmm. They're now crafting their perfect teacher. Let's hold a questionnaire. What's the first thing that everyone thinks of when they think of me? We'll put it together and make the most abomination of a person you can think of. But who's that going to be? I like the various references, and I'm only getting half of it. Okay. I see some people are not afraid of being sued. How long every morning does she have to go into it? I know my brother went through a stage of wanting to chemically straighten his hair permanently so he doesn't have to do it every day. Yeah, never let a kid near you that. Oh, I thought he was going to have really sticky hands and mess it up that way, not just release the very clear, very tight balance she had over it all. Kaiju. It's not the first time we had Evening Primrose was a mistake. What's going on? Didn't think there'd be a episode where you'd have to prove oneself not only to your own confirmation, but those around you. And what happens if you get to a stage where everyone's precognition of who you actually are doesn't line up with the facts? I mean, to a degree, everyone wears a mask of sorts when they interact with people. And let's be honest, if some of them in this class took off this mask of trying to seem better than they actually are, then I would be scared. I'm not surprised in the slightest that you got some close statements of imposter syndrome coming from Zetsubou Sensei. Well, he's not good enough to lead the class, therefore everything's wrong and it's all a mistake. And then he bases his entire ideology and identity around it. But it does seem that's all he's got going for him. Very shallow life. All I can say is that the ones that are pulling the strings here know what they're doing with the show. Give us the insanity that comes with Zetsubou Sensei's words and actions, slowly and not so subtly intersperse it with the teacher and her sleepy day routine. It's one way to keep your audience clinging on. At least we know that there's at least one student here who would clear a polygraph test over anything, believing that coming to the country and being in this class was the best thing that could have happened to her. Clearly irrational. But I kind of need to see more if we're now getting small bits where the students are, well, having more about their personalities revealed, the fact that this middle parting has uncontrollable hair half the time, and it's a fine, delicate balance to keep it in order. What about the others? Do they have these little tidbits of information and draw them out from just being a almost one-note character? Whether they be normal or just into animal abuse. I will say though, if you had to condense everyone's entire being into a single phrase or a sentence, I wonder what it would be for mine. Offensively British? We'll have to see. But Zetsubou Sensei is a show unlike many others. The fact that half the time I'm just sitting there waiting for him to get to the point so that we can have the punchline of, God damn it, he's doing it again. Half of the jokes knowing where it's going to go, but then being undercut by random happenings, like at the beginning with the insults. Oh, we know they're masochists. We know they're going to be, oh, can you insult me? And then it goes into a stadium full of people. So everyone line up nicely. You'll get your turn. She got quite the money maker on her hands there. No wonder she was tired. Had to recover after that. Still, Monday's always a bit of a perk me up with this show. I know there's plenty more and it's nowhere near done. I wonder if I'm going to understand any more by the end of it. Probably not. It's half the fun of it though. If you've enjoyed this one, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing. Most importantly, have a look in the mirror. Make sure you're still you. I'll see you in the next one. If you want to try and help out with the grand mistake that is my channel, consider joining onto my Patreon, because thanks to the likes of M.O, Noku, Sao, Guado, Kite, Ribbon Fulamawa, Raywin, Wolfie Sensei and everyone else, something good may actually come from it. But it won't stop me and everything I've done from being the wrong decision.